I'm hoping that this works. Give me a second. I got to send myself the link. Feedback. Are we good, gentlemen? Are you ready to SnowStream? My goodness, it is coming down like goose feathers right now. This is the greatest day of my life. This is my favorite thing. I lost my glasses. My favorite thing to do in the whole world is to plow snow. All right, we're going to need second gear today because we got such deep, heavy snow. Good morning, gentlemen, or good afternoon. Oh, we're stuck. Good grief. Keep it moving. Goodness, it's getting extreme out here. Mr. Landfill 2.0, yes, if you don't try, keep trying. If you don't succeed, is it? Woo! It is piling up, gentlemen. You haven't missed much. That was my first pass. We're going to be here a while. Well, we don't have to worry about the soccer balls today since we're not using the blower. But yes, we did suck up the Sweet Loaf soccer ball a few years ago. We got the 8-foot plow on today. Yes, I do go live. Actually, I do a live stream every morning for my members. Yeah, looks like we're doing good. We have a better stream now. Boy, can you see how much snow's coming down? We have a brand new member, Mr. Little Klondike. We're glad to have you here. That is now going to give you access to our members-only morning live stream. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the morning, every morning, except for the weekends, for members only. Yeah, this is the original Yanmar, Josh. Well, I'm not using the snow. Well, a couple reasons. The snow's pretty wet. Actually, this would be pretty good snow for the blower. My skid steer's been acted up. It threw a low engine oil pressure alarm. So I shut it down, and I haven't had a chance I haven't looked at it. So my plan today is to stream. If someone can get a message to Mrs. W to ask Jack not to call me when I'm streaming, I don't want to lose the stream. Mrs. W should be in the chat pretty soon. Well, it's great to have you here, Travel. I do take care of yourself. Can you imagine Jack calling me during my stream? Unforgivable. I don't think I told him I was streaming, so it's not his fault. Well, I go slow because I want it to last, and I don't want the engine to be so noisy you guys can't hear anything. What's the hurry? I'm a professional YouTuber. I don't have a job. My job today is to plow this snow. How's that? We have a brand new member, Mr. Ray Bear. Shout out to you. If I still had a horn, I'd honk it for you. Boy, the heat in here is about to run me out. Well, we got quite a storm coming in today. Goodness. My goodness, we got to stop for this. We have a super chat. If you guys give me a super chat, I'm going to make sure and give you the respect here to give you a face-to-face. How's that? How can I flip this thing around here? Here we go. We have a super chat from Ridge Runner Blades, Mr. Jason Barr. Shout out to you. Thank you, brother. Hello, Warband. Thank you guys for all your support with the landslide. We are able to keep Josh's business open with that alone. Also be able to pay all 3 of his employees. Well, I am very glad to hear that. Actually, Mr. Barr, I owe him a phone call. I was just going through my emails this morning. I'm a little late on that. We have new pencils in the store. So we have the Act Accordingly Carpenter pencils that were just dropped recently. And Mr. Barr, right here, Mr. Barr or one of the mods, maybe Steelhead or Adam, can throw that link up there. That's WranglerstarMerch.com. Thank you, Jason, for that. Really appreciate that. Let us proceed. Yeah, thank you, Josh. Josh just threw up a couple links there. We've got the links to Ridge Runner Blades, which is my personal favorite EDC knife presently, and a link to Wrangler Mart or Wrangler Merch for the new pencils. I can't show you anything. I haven't done anything. We made 1 pass, and we're on our 2nd pass here now. What do I wear for snow? Well, it's not overly cold right now. It's only, it's hovering right around 30 degrees or so. So starting with boots, I wear my NYX Urban Loggers that I just put a fresh coat of Obenaufs on. So leather boots can be kept reasonably water resistant if you use Obenaufs regularly. And then I use Outdoor Research OR snow gaiters, because you got to have snow gaiters in the deep snow or you get snow in your boots. So I start with that, and then I wear a wool base layer by Smart Wool or Icebreaker. Icebreaker is my favorite, and I'm wearing the very fabulous, my most heavy Japanese denim that I own. I got a new pair of 25-ounce Samurai selvedge denim, and my goodness, it is amazing. Super thick. This is the thickest denim that you can buy. It's dangerous to even sew it because the needles explode. It's so heavy duty. So this is the heaviest denim I've had in the past for pants has been 21 ounce, which is super heavy, but the 25 is next level. So that keeps me really warm. Now, I'm going to be in the tractor, so I don't worry about getting wet. I won't wear cotton if I'm going to be out getting wet, obviously. And then for the top, I've got an Ironheart thermal long sleeve tee and an Ironheart Type 3 black trucker jacket that is Sherpa lined with fur. So that's the recipe to stay warm. Obenaufs. If you haven't heard of Obenaufs, Obenaufs is made in Idaho. It's a leather preservative and protector and waterproofer and nourisher. It does everything. It's all non-toxic. You can actually use it for lip balm. And it was developed for wildland firefighters. And it's my go-to for preserving your leather. So we got a weather report here, looks like from Killer GB, who says we should have heavy snow until 8 p.m. tonight. So we might be out here for a while. How often do I replace the wiper blades? I don't think I've ever replaced them. They, that was on my list to do. I robbed the wiper blade. The wiper blade on the last SnowStream failed on us, and I replaced it with a wiper blade in the back. And I completely forgot about that. So next time I go into town, I'm going to have to grab this and get a couple replacements. Wow, this is a lot of snow, gentlemen. Oh yeah, the cab has a heater. Not only does it have a heater, but it has an air conditioner as well. And a really good heater. I'm starting to fog up here, so I'm going to get that fan turned up. Oh, goodness, shut it down. We got a super chat. Well, I'll try to get better at this. We have a super chat from our brother, Jamie. Any recommendations for a beginner AR? Well, I don't think beginner means low quality. I think you should always buy a quality one. I think what I would honestly recommend, what I think you get the best value for military grade, like top of the line, is Bravo Company, BCM. I would recommend you get a BCM, and if you can get one with a 14.5-inch barrel that has a pinned and welded flash hider. Now, a barrel has to be 16 inches legally, but if you pin the flash hider, that keeps it legal. So you get a little bit shorter barrel, and you get a top-of-the-line, high-quality AR. So I would look at the Bravo Company, BCM, and I would do that. But thank you for that super chat. Let us proceed. Now, my favorites, what I personally have, I don't own a BCM, but I've been to a lot of rifle courses, and I've seen a lot of them, and everyone loves them. They're very, very good, so I would recommend that. I personally like Daniel Defense. I like Colt, old Colt, not the new one. And I like LMT and Knight's Armament. Those are my 4 favorite. And I would put Bravo Company up there. Those are my top 5 favorites. Not half a mind. I've got the mower on the back, which makes the Yanmar huge. I have half a mind to take that mower off, but I do enjoy the. Since I'm not chained up, I wonder if I might need the weight for traction. What would be a good hunting and a good self-defense gun? Depends on what you're hunting. But I think if you were just going to have one, then a battle rifle. An AR platform like an AR-10 chambered in 308 would be a great one and done. 308 is a good caliber for hunting. It's certainly got a lot of knockdown power. A lot of good ballistics are out there for it. A lot of good rounds. You can get personal defensive rounds. You can get hunting rounds. And it was also an excellent defensive weapon as well. The skid steer has got a low oil pressure alarm coming on that came up on the engine management system, and so I shut it down. I'm hoping to take a look at that today, see if I can get to it. I think it's a sensor. I do not believe it has a low oil pressure, but it just is more than I can stand to run something with a low oil pressure alarm on. I would not enjoy it. It is currently 1:22 here on the beautiful West Coast. A shotgun is also a very good defensive weapon and also super versatile. You can hunt with them. That's also a good choice. That'd be a lot more affordable choice. Get yourself a Mossberg 500 or a Remington 870. That's my particular favorite. And a police Magnum. And absolutely, you could hunt birds. You could hunt turkeys. You could hunt deer up close. You know, you can't make long range, but you can use slugs in that. So if you live in a place where you have heavy woods and you're not going to be taking 300-yard shots, then that would work. And it's a devastating personal defensive weapon, obviously. If you can buy the old trade-in, like I did, you buy the trade-in 870 police Magnums that were turned in when all the cops went to ARs. There's a lot of those out there, but just make sure you check and find out. You buy nothing from Remington that was produced after they were purchased by the Freedom Group. And I don't know what year it is. Maybe one of the warband can look up and see when did Remington buy the Freedom Group, and you want to avoid that. So all your 870s will have a stamp on them when they were manufactured. I don't know exactly where, but you can look up. I'm not your Google. Well, it is snowing like crazy. We got a couple feet on the ground right now. Just shy of, but it's stacking up deep or quickly right now. The 940 or the Para 3. Now that's a hard decision. Man, why would you make me make a decision like that? That's like asking me to choose between which one's my favorite child. I think you should have both. I can't make a decision. But obviously the 940 first. Well, yeah, that would be the Daniel Defense DDM4V7 would be my number one pick if you were going to get your first AR. Absolutely. But Bravo Company gives you all the quality of Daniel Defense for less money. But absolutely, that's an excellent choice. I personally have one. A DDM4V7 and a 16-inch barrel is an excellent choice. Oh goodness, we have a super chat. Shut it down. We're going to show respect to the super chatters today. Thank you for that, Cal. Cal says he's got a question. What is the coming struggle? The coming struggle is here. We were at the grocery store yesterday, and for the first time ever, to buy organic eggs, they were over $1 a piece. It was $13 and change for a dozen eggs. I just put tires on my truck. It's $500 per tire. You know, so that sort of thing, that's a struggle for people. But also we have an overreaching government. We have, I got my own TikTok, my million-view TikTok channel shut down because I don't say the right things. The coming struggle is here. If you're not aware of it and your eyes are not open to that, then you don't have any idea what's going on and how far we have fallen in a very short time. So the coming struggle is going to be, you're going to have to take care of yourself in the future. Safety nets are gone. You might even be persecuted if you don't have the right beliefs. So there's a lot of bad things going on right now. And to not be aware of that is, well, if you haven't been preparing, if you haven't made radical changes in where you live and how you live and what you're doing and to taking measures to take care of your family, you know, you need to take a hard look at that. So that's what the coming struggle is here. It's not coming. The struggle is here. But thank you for that super chat. Let us proceed. People can't afford rents. People can't buy houses. There's no hope for young people. The dating market for young men that are not 6'4" and full of muscles is dire. There's no hope. We're going to see 2025 is going to be an interesting time to be alive. Snowblower is excellent. I have a snowblower. in the right conditions. Snowblowers are not excellent in wet snow. There's no substitute for a plow. So kind of out here where we have both, the guy almost needs both. Gabriel says most people, young people, don't care. Yeah, well, they will care. The only reason why they don't care is because they have the luxury of being kept and taken care of by their parents, paying their car insurance, giving them an allowance, etc., giving them a place to live. I assure you, young people that are thrown out on their own in this world to try to survive and compete, they'll find out real quick. Real quick. Oh goodness, we have a super chat from our brother Chris Altier. You know where I could find Lucky Logger gloves? Lucky Logger gloves are a staple for West Coast loggers out here. They are a cotton, kind of a cotton jersey. Maybe not a jersey, but they're a heavy cotton glove that are very warm. Loggers, super cold and usually pretty dry when they're working, so they don't have to have a waterproof glove. But a Lucky Logger is just that classic super double thick heavy cotton glove, winter glove for warmth. Just search them online. I bought them on Amazon. There's also one called something Star. There's a couple different brands, but Lucky Logger is the one you want. The one you want was with the red elastic across the band. But just search the web, Lucky Logger, you'll find them. What is an allowance? Yes. Well, you know what an allowance is. An allowance is something you and I don't get, Mr. Gabriel. I have to say, Gabriel, that beautiful hearth that you made for the tent, you know, we put that over in the cabin, and the cabin was a tremendous hit. Worked flawlessly and is working flawlessly. Mr. Peter's over there caretaking right now, and he likes it as well. But I can't thank you enough for that. That was such a nice gift. Yes, our allowance is from the Almighty. There you go. No, I have not sold the adventure van. I still have it, but it's I want to sell it. I just, the thing is, I don't need to sell it, so I'm not in any big hurry to sell it. If someone came and offered me a fair price, I would turn it loose. There you go. Krager says, believe that the homelessness is up 39%. I've heard similar studies. I think that speaks to what the great struggle is. I think it speaks to the fact that the great struggle is here. There's a lot of people living on the absolute margins right now. That a broken furnace or the loss of a job or a major health problem is the only thing that stands between them that will put them in homelessness. Goodness, we got too many super chats here. Hold on, I'm backing up here. We have a super chat from Chris G. Keep on doing what you're doing. We appreciate your content. Well, I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for the generosity. And from Christopher Miller, we have another super chat. Goodness, Christopher writes, I enjoy your videos, especially your kit ones. Video ideas, how do you kit Mrs. W in Jack's vehicle as I load out? I will do that for you, Christopher. Jack is home, and I've actually been meaning to kind of enhance and go through his kit. What I put in his kit, he's not much of a gear guy like me, but I put like a jump starter, space blanket, a first aid kit, and just the bare minimum. If I give him too much more, he's not going to carry it. Knife, that sort of thing. Mrs. W's is more extensive, but I'll cover that. I'm actually going to go through those kits here pretty soon, so I'll shoot a video for you for that. But thank you for the idea. All right, let us proceed. Yeah, that's a good choice. Arrow Precision is a great company. I would, I mean, if you want to do something that's really enjoyable, build your own lower. Get an Arrow Precision. I know that Mr. Brian with the Warband, he's a big fan of those, and he builds his own, and he buys, apparently, if you go to their site every once in a while, they'll sell seconds that have a blemish in them. We've never ever been able to see the blemish. They look like new to us, but you can buy them for a big discount. Get a parts kit. You can get a parts kit from Arrow as well, and then it's easy to build yourself, and then just go to BCM and buy your favorite upper. Snap it on. Sean's asking why I call Mr. Jiraiya or refer to him as my manservant. I do it because it makes it just a troll. So that Mr. Jiraiya and the Warband, we could all laugh at the people that get butt hurt over that. I think it's the funniest thing ever. How many hours on the Yanmar? Man, I don't know. It's got a display, all this, 776. Goodness, we have a $50 super chat from our beloved brother, Mr. Dr. Prepper. Dr. Prepper writes, contributing to your continual effort towards uniting folks for the coming struggle. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. God help me today with a lesson in forgiveness that was much needed. Sounds like me. I'm humbled by the Almighty daily. I want to express thanks for helping me towards seeking Him out more and more every day. Well, thank you for that, Dr. Prepper, and I really do appreciate it, and it's a good lesson to all of us. We need to the closer I get to the Almighty, the more I see my faults. When you start contrasting yourself with true perfection, it really highlights how far we've fallen. But He gives us hope, and He covers it for us when we fall down, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for that, Dr. Prepper. That's very generous of you. All right, let us proceed. I think we got the driveway. Well, let me just clean up. Get up a little closer to the garage door. Goodness, we have a super chat from Mr. Evan Roach. Evan writes, Proho, buy a reputable freedom pill dispenser for defense of the life and limb and builds them. Oh, I see. So, yes. I thought that this was commonly understood. But yes, thank you, Evan. Evan says, Proho, meaning those of us that are here, Proho buys a reputable firearm. Freedom pill dispenser, for defensive life and limb, builds them for range use only. That's probably very wise advice. I would say I would make an exception to that. If you are really a gun nut and you are familiar with it and you know it forwards and backwards like many of us do, then you are totally qualified, in my opinion, to build your own stuff. I have done many, many rifles and I've never had a problem with them, but that is a very good point. Evan recommends buying something that's made, if it's going to be a life safety item, like a defensive weapon, buy something that is as good as you can afford. You don't want to mess around with home builds. I think that's a very good point. And we have a super chat from Zach Crest. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right, let us proceed. But yes, that's actually a very good point, Mr. Roach. I would agree with you 1,000%. I forget sometimes that not everyone in the chat is Proho, and they're trying to become that. So we're here to help with that. But there's no judgment here. Just because you're not Proho doesn't mean that you can't be. But there's a lot to learn. You got to be careful. We're up close to the house here. You can do a lot of damage with heavy equipment if you're not careful. I think that that's actually very good advice. You should absolutely know how to build a lower. Once you build a lower, then you can step up and build an upper. An upper is not any more difficult. It just, there's some things, head spacing, and there's just a couple things. What I would recommend you do is if you do build an upper and you don't have a headspace gauge and you don't really know what you're doing, then don't do it. Don't make that your primary. Now, if you already have a good solid AR platform, rock solid, reliable, from one of these brands that we mentioned, then start piecing things together and learn it. It's good to know. Sean, my opinion on splitting axes versus mauls is I prefer a splitting axe. I find it more enjoyable to use, easier to use, and just as effective, actually more effective than a maul. Now, I'm going to preface that we're also splitting Douglas fir, which is a fine firewood, but it has unique characteristics. I do not know if splitting axes will work on the East Coast or Midwest hardwoods, or if that's effective. You may have to use a big heavy maul. But there's times where you get a big mean one or big old growth rounds where the splitting axe just does not get it done. The only way to split is with a maul and a wedge. Not even a splitting maul will knock out some of that old stuff. So I would say that the best combo would be to have a good high quality splitting axe, and then you already should have a sledgehammer. Now, the difference between a splitting axe and a splitting maul is a maul is designed to strike metal. You can strike metal on metal with a maul. It's made that way. You can use it with its blade, or you can flip it around and use it with a wedge. And a wedge, there's nothing in the universe that can withstand a wedge. Not even mean old growth Douglas fir rounds that are 7 feet across. But the splitting axe it's axe steel. It's forged and harder, and it is not suitable. You cannot pound metal to metal with a splitting axe. So that's some of the shortcomings. So you kind of have to look at your situation and then make the best decision. I have never personally split black locusts, but I have heard the horror stories. I don't disagree with what you're saying. Oh, that's a good deal right now. That's a special, shout out to, that's a great deal. So Dan is giving us a hot deal here. There's a free BCG, a bolt carrier group, if you buy a BCM upper right now. I'm going to fall in the ditch here. That's an amazing deal. So a good bolt carrier, the bolt carrier group from BCM is going to be mil spec and a good one. So if you buy an upper right now, that's a couple $100 value. So that's a pretty good deal that you might want to take advantage of. I can give you an update on the 350. It hasn't given me a lick of trouble. It is a wonderful truck. Mrs. W does not like driving it. She thinks it's too big, but that doesn't stop Proho. We like big trucks. It's been excellent. No problems. I'll tell you one thing though. I put those Goodyear Duratrax on. That's the first year I've ran those. Best tire I've ever had. Best tire I've ever had. That will be my new tire until something better comes along. But that is an excellent tire. My goodness. I feel like a superhero in slippery roads with that thing. You don't even think about it. It's kind of dangerous because you get complacent. The family absolutely loved the cabin. It was beyond a tremendous hit. You know, it was so nice. We had a white Christmas, and we had my Mrs. W's twin brother, his family and his children came. They came from the Netherlands to stay with us, and we got to put them up in the nice cabin. They were the first people that stayed there. Whoop! I hit me a big old snow block there. And fireplace was going, and then Christmas morning, they all came over to the main house, and wouldn't you know it, about noon, as we were opening presents, the skies opened up and we had a beautiful heavy snowfall and white Christmas and everything. It was just really nice. It was wonderful. All of our family was here. Everyone on Mrs. W's side got to come from all over the country. So it was wonderful. If I had to do it again, I would buy an F450 or an F550, and I would take it to Buck Stop in Prineville, Oregon, and I would have bought a dually, and I would have them install a super single kit, and then that would be the ultimate truck. The F550 with the Buck Stop super single kit you can't get a better truck than that, in my opinion. Falcons. I have never owned a pair of Falcons. I don't know much about them. We'll just clean this driveway up a little bit. The light that I carry, I don't carry a light. See, I carry a light on my concealed carry. I carry a Surefire X300, but I learned when I had to pull my gun on an intruder on the homestead in the middle of the night, I learned that it was very inconvenient not to have a handheld light and only a weapons light. So I remedied that by getting I carry a Surefire backup. It's a single cell CR123 personal defensive light. Goodness, we have a super chat from our beloved brother and warband member, the Battle Chemist. Battle Chemist has actually got to see the cozy cabin. He came in bearing gifts right before my family showed up and spent the evening with us there, so he can attest to its coziness. He says, finishing the cozy cabin before they arrived, and even with the day to spare, was truly a Christmas miracle. So it certainly was, and it was. Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. And the nice gifts. I was actually just one of my top priorities is to dig into that crosscut saw that you gave me and see if indeed we do have a Royal Chinook, which I think we may, which is the gold standard. The absolute gold standard of crosscut saws, a true grail saw, if that is what I think it is. Judging from that excellent taper on the crescent grind, I'm hopeful that it is. A 5-foot Royal Chinook is that's really the saw that I want. In a bucking saw too. I'll be careful to hit Jack's Subaru. Oh boy, it is pushing heavy and deep. Yeah, hopefully we'll find out soon, Battle Chemist. I'll do that on the video. I got so many winter projects. I'm excited they kind of got backed up because I was grinding on the cabin to get that done for family. And now I've got a little bit of time. Actually, Mr. Jiraiya, the only thing we didn't get done was the bathroom door because there was a mix-up. It wasn't my fault. There was a mix-up, and it didn't get put on the truck, so I didn't have it to install. Had I had it when promised, I'd even had that installed. So Mr. Drya this morning took the 350 and went down and picked it up. So I haven't seen it yet, but he put it in the cabin. So we got to get that hung up too. Goodness, we have a super chat from our beloved Gabriel. Gabriel, as you know, built that fabulous hearth for the cabin, or that we have in the cabin. Thank you, Gabriel. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to have a little something for you as a gift too next time we get together. But thank you for that. And Mr. Gabriel, I want you to know that if you ever want to come and spend the night in the cabin or have a nice weekend, mi casa, you casa. You just say the word, and it's yours. It'd be our pleasure. Mr. Gabriel he's a local warband member. Boy, it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna have to turn the air conditioner on. Maybe I'll turn that fan down a little bit. Oh, sorry, Gabriel. Well, you're appreciated nonetheless. We have 2 Gabriels. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to destroy anything, and I'm just trying to scan the chat here and still run this snow plow. Well, if Gabriel pops in, tell him I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mix him up. Thank you, Gabriel. We have a member's comment from Iron Horse. Let me grab this here. Iron Horse says, hey, that snow, how's that snow treating you out here? Jersey picking up a shipping container to Indiana, frying up some elk sausage. Hope all is well. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. And be safe out there. I really do. Thank you for being a member as well. And we have our beloved 125-2152. 125-21252. I'll get it. Who says, thanks for streaming. I work nights, and I'm often not available for the morning stream. I miss the interaction. Well, I appreciate having you here. And as a good union worker, I'm always happy watching someone else work. Oh boy, isn't that the truth. I feel the same way. There's something very soothing about watching men work. But thank you for that. And we have a comment from our Dr. Prepper. Dr. Prepper writes, do I have any thoughts on the recent events? Just heard Cybertruck driver was found to have a GSW to head layers upon layers. I don't know what a GSW is, and thank you for that comment, Dr. Prepper. So what he's talking about, Mr. Drya and I were talking about this morning. So there's a bunch of fishy stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know what the facts are, but I can tell you this: whatever you're hearing from the government and from the media is the opposite of the truth. So take that for what it's worth. But I think what we can learn from this gentleman is there's a couple things that we need to beef up and enhance if you are pro-ho. I think you should be carrying a rifle in your vehicle. I think you should be carrying at least a slick plate carrier in your vehicle. I think you should have some extra ammunition in your vehicle, and I think you need to take a look at your first aid kit and have a suitable trauma kit for that will be suitable for multiple people. I would take whatever your EDC has been in the past, and I would bring that up. If a basic EDC is DEFCON 1, then I would say that your personal EDC should probably be bumped up to a DEFCON 3, if you catch my drift. I would also include in that some non-lethal, a large size bear spray, and I would have some radios. Our official radio man and warband member is Evan from Radio Made Easy. If you do not have personal radios for your family, I would highly encourage you to take a look at that. And it's a little bit intimidating, and once you get into it, it's very confusing. But my man Evan over at Radio Made Easy has got a turnkey package that will get you going, and he'll program it for you. That's part of the price for your area, to have all your frequencies on it. So it's something you should take advantage of. Might be a good video series of up-armoring our EDCs, what that should look like. I know I've done mine probably a year ago. Flight Baby is asking, how do you think I can protect myself on the road as a trucker when I can't carry a gun due to state lines? Well, you know, Proho's got to do what he's got to do. And there are laws made by man, and then there are God-given rights given to us by the Almighty himself, and we have a right to protect ourselves. I wouldn't give two hoots in hell what some state or state line said about what I could or can't do to protect myself as a truck driver. You need to act accordingly. That's what you need to do. You take that for what it's worth. We have a super chat. We're not getting anything done today. From our brother Iron Horse. Iron Horse says, personally, I carry a Steyr 40, 40 Smith & Wesson on my rig. That's a good choice. Takes care of most issues. Got full med trauma kit, multiple radios on the rig. A lot can happen when you're on the road 8 weeks at a time. I think that's excellent advice, you know, and I've done the same thing. We have become very complacent. We have been raised in a high trust society. That's why we've been so easy to take advantage of as Americans, because of that high trust upbringing that we've had. That ship has sailed. Your personal protection of you and your family may very well depend upon your preparations, and you're going to need to deal with it. Don't look to anyone to come and save you. So if you're on the road, I would look at the way that men used to arm themselves up when they traveled from point A to point B, because they knew that highwaymen may be laying in wait for an ambush. I would look at life this way, especially if you live in an urban environment. I would really look at life this way. Now, don't be afraid and paranoid. Just look at it for what it is. Think of what the worst case scenario is, and then act accordingly. Build your EDC, build your go bag, something that you can grab and go. You're not fumbling around. When you need to go, grab it and put it in your truck, and always have it with you. We have a super chat from Mr. Jack. Thank you, Jack. Jack says, can we get an act accordingly patch or sticker? Well, take that up with the middlemen, my moderators. They're the ones that handle all of our USA merch, and see what they can do. Right there, Mr. Barr right there said we're working on it. Ask and you shall receive. You have not, the Almighty tells us, because you asked not. Oh, here we go. I didn't turn the camera around. That's all right. We have another super chat. We have Kill King 110 coming in with the super chat. Thank you for that. Kill King says, I got a couple chores done, one of which was setting up command hooks so I can use an anchor battery and 5-watt camping light as an emergency light. Yeah, that's the exact type of thing I've been talking about. Is look at what you have, and how, if you've bought stuff and you're not using it, look at what you can do to cover any emergency. Remember, most of the time when you're going to have trouble, things are going to go bad. A lot of the time it's going to be dark, nighttime. So having light, having a good headlamp in your car, having a good EDC light, having some backup batteries, get those tools, aviation battery holders. A light is not a flashlight without extra batteries. And a handgun is not a gun without extra parts, which would be extra magazines. You need to have those on you, for sure. But thank you for that super chat. Kyle B picked up a Starlink Mini and a Filson jacket just before Christmas. Thanks for the recommendation. Those are two very nice Christmas gifts. Actually, I was just wearing my Filson Cruiser yesterday. Actually, I wasn't wearing it. I took it out of mothballs to get it in preparation of wearing it. I don't give a damn what the FUPA looks like. Does it look too tactical? Yes, it does look too tactical, but I want people to know. I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. Those days are long gone. If you see me in the wild, 90% of the time you'll see me with the FUPA. Yeah, the Battle Chemist makes a good point. Also, so I have two of them. I have one that's tan, and I have one in God's camo that I stole from Mr. Evan. But he hasn't asked for it back yet, so I'm going to keep it. And yes, the camo is a little bit on the nose for sure, but the tan one not so much. So you can get them if you go to SEO. Why can't I remember that? If one of you could drop a link to John's site, link over to the FUPAs, you can see he's got them in several different patterns. And if you're concerned about that, then just get something that's a non-tactical color, and don't put any patches on it, and you'll be good. But the FUPA really solves the problem. It really is good. Actually, I have mine right here. This is mine. I can't show you what's inside. Is there anything I can show you? I can't show you what's inside because of live stream, but someone asked about my flashlight. This is my personal carry light. This is the Backup MV by Surefire. I like this interface because it has just two modes. So super turbo bright, and if you click it again, it has what they call more of a moonlight mode. So this is really nice if you're fumbling around, or you don't want to wake up your wife, or you don't want to blast out your eyes, because this is too bright. Even right now, it hurts my eyes in broad daylight. So I usually use the moonlight mode, and that makes the battery last a long time too. So the SOE FUPA right here is where it's at. I could give you a peek. Oh, you've all seen it. Also, you can get them in two configurations. You can get them made that has the extra piece sewn on here. So this Velcro piece will lift up, and you can use this as a dangler bag on your plate carrier. So it's really versatile. So that's kind of nice. So let's say, for example, that you're going to run a slick plate carrier in your truck with rifle plates like I do. It doesn't have any magazine pouches or anything on it. It's just completely slick. And the reason for that is I want to be able to throw it on, and I want to throw a coat over it so no one knows I have it on. And I can't do that with a bunch of bulk on it. But what I can do with the FUPA is I could take this, flip this Velcro up, and bang, I got that right on my chest carrier now. And now I've got an extra magazine mounted, a flashlight, and my G19X. I've actually got two lights. So that's kind of, I like that versatility. Never leave home without the peanut butter. Yeah, I used to carry a G26. I thought that the G19X was too big, but not anymore. First, I want the light, and I want a full-size combat handgun. Any experience with tritium sights? Yes, and thank you for that super chat, Iron Horse. Tritium sights, or what they call night sights, are iron sights that have a tritium. It's a small glass vial. And tritium is a radioactive isotope or something that glows green. And it lasts many, many years. And so they're popular with night sights because you can see them in the dark. How important are night sights? I don't think they're important at all, to be honest with you. I see them, I have them on all my personal carry guns. I see them glowing at night, but is that gonna make a difference? You know, am I gonna actually pull the trigger on something that I can't see? That's going to be so dark that I can't see the sights that I need in night sights? Absolutely not. I'm going to identify what it is that is a threat. I mean, it could be your daughter waking you up. You know, you need to know. By the time you put a weapons light on or shine a flashlight on, you're not going to see those night sights at all. I think that it's a whole bunch of nonsense, to be honest with you. But thank you for that super chat. If you want them, they're cool. There's nothing wrong with it. But are they necessary? Would I lose sleep over not having them? Not for a moment. It's been nice to have Jack back home. He's been a tremendous help to us. Especially when Mr. Jiraiya was off on Christmas vacation. I'm gonna have to take this coat off if it gets any hotter in here. No, Battle Chemist, and thank you for that super chat. We don't, it's, you can run the heater, but you still got to go down there and refuel it, and there's just, it's not something that's plug and play that you can just set it and forget it. It's not that at all. So, I probably should have did that, but I don't know. It seems like the last thing that I want to do is when you about to go to bed and you look out and starting to snow is to put your snow clothes on and go down there and to start up the diesel heater. But I'm not saying that I shouldn't. I'm just saying that I don't. Well, I would be willing to bet that no East Coast man could drive a tractor so slow and get so little done. No, I think that this snow blade would be completely unsuitable for dirt work. It's just not designed for that. It doesn't have the strength. I don't get in any hurry. One, I don't want to tear stuff up. I don't want to break equipment. And I enjoy the SnowStream and plowing snow more than just about anything, and I want it to last. And I enjoy hanging out here and visiting with you all. Goodness, we have a super chat from our brother Iron Horse that says, look into the Sunfire heater. Runs off temporary thermostat and extremely fuel efficient. Well, I appreciate that recommendation. If Mrs. W is in the chat, maybe you can make a note of that or make me aware of that. Look that up and grab a link. Yeah, any good products like that that are helpful, I'm all ears. The snow got so heavy on that last dump that it bent one of the supports on the tent. It's not a big deal. I can fix it. I just need to get down there and pull it out and straighten it out and put it back in. But it's okay. We got Ridge Runner Blades, Mr. Barr in the house, who says, I performed a social experiment for us today. I called a Mexican Latin X today, and it did not go well. Have you tried this with Peter? No, but you can bet I will. I'll be waiting on the doorstep when he comes in tonight to ask him that very question. Latinx. Y'all are racist out there in North Carolina, I tell you for sure. Not really. Of course, it's just jokes. That is very funny. I don't suppose it did go well. Latinx. My manservant, Mr. Dry, is actually over at Shop 2.0 doing snow removal over there right now himself. It's just coming down like crazy. I don't know how much snow we have here. We've probably coming up close on a couple feet, but we'll miss it by far. When we're done here, we'll have to go over there and plow out Mr. Bryan's place. He lives across the road. Oh, I got kind of close to the trailer there. I got to pay attention here when I'm in the sensitive areas. Oh, I forgot to mention, snowplow took out the world's strongest mailbox. Actually, let's go over there. We got to hit Brian's driveway. We'll go over there and we'll take a look at it. So as you may or may not know, I have, for the last over a decade or so, I have been at war with the snowplow drivers. Well, not really. It's not their fault. The big county snowplows come by, and the snow is so heavy and they throw so much of it that it destroys my mailbox, and I've lost many a mailbox that way. We came home the other night. Now, you know, last year I bought the world's toughest mailbox made out of 1/8-inch plate steel. And I put it up on a steel pole, reinforced concrete base. And I thought, man, that's going to be the ticket. But also, you got to make it breakaway. Let's say there was a car accident and somebody veered off the road and hit it. And if you built something that harmed them or injured them because it was overbuilt, that could be a big problem for you. And I don't want that to happen either. So I designed it to break away. And that's exactly what it did. And I'll show you here in a minute. But I was glad to see that the mailbox, although it was laying in the ditch, it didn't have not even a scratch on it. So it's just propped up there. But we'll check it out here. Actually, what I need to do, what I need to do is I got a big old bunch of official warband patches going out to our members that need to go out today, and I need to go to the house and grab them real quick. So I'm going to do that. Mrs. W, could you grab the letters that I have to go out from this morning? I think they're sitting on the table, and sit them out in the foyer, and I'll do a drive-by and grab them and throw them in the mailbox. So the patches that I'm picking up, so we have been, we're about 60 episodes of private live streams. I do private live streams in the morning for my members. And we do various things there, but really the core of it is we do an in-depth Bible study. Go through the scriptures. And we pray for one another and encourage one another. And it's really turning into a good thing. It's a small group of us, but I designed and had a special patch made for everyone who made it successfully for the first 30 days of the Bible study as an accomplishment, like a merit badge. And so I have a whole big bunch of those going out today that I wanted to get into the mailbox. Boy, with this much snow, I could fire up the snow bike and take the Sweet Loaf for a little ride around the property here. Yeah, I know whosoever. That is a good way to mount mailboxes, but I think it looks shabby. I don't like the look of it. And you know, West Coast man is all about image. I'd rather fix a mailbox that looks cool every year than to have one that didn't need fixing that looked terrible. Apparently we have some new merch dropping on the website. Oh, and I do apologize, gentlemen. I literally did no work over the Christmas and New Year's break. I haven't looked at anything, so I'm a little behind on all that stuff. I'll make it up to you. We'll make an official announcement here on the next video. I was gonna do it today about the pencil, and I completely forgot. You know, I think that's a very good question, Cal. We have a super chat from our brother Cal. Is asking for book recommendations. Yeah, we've kind of loosely, the War Band on the morning member streams, we kind of loosely discussed this, and I have 3 books that I have made mandatory reading for the War Band. And the first one is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. It doesn't matter, you'll say, oh, I'm not into that sort of thing. No, it's not like that. C.S. Lewis was an intellectual giant, and it's suitable for anyone. I highly recommend it. That's why it was the first book that I chose for the reading list. Number 2 would be The Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan, an allegory. And then the third book I recommended was The Screwtape Letters, 3 of my favorites. I'll work on that. We need to build up, add a few more to that, but I'll think about that. But those are the 3 that come to mind. And thank you for that super chat, Mr. Cal. Also, Mrs. W is in the chat, so take advantage of that resource if you have any questions. Mrs. W is a master food preserver and has a tremendous knowledge of a great many things. All right, let's grab our letters. Well, I'm starting to feel I chose to skip breakfast this morning, and I'm feeling that now. All right, let's go check out the mailbox, and then we'll run over and hit Mr. Bryan's driveway real quick. It's just a quick one. Mrs. W, bless her, she got up early this morning and she made something new that we hadn't had before, and it was a breakfast casserole, and it had potatoes au gratin in the bottom, and then mixed in with scrambled eggs and beef sausages pieces cut up and cubed up real small, and cheese. My goodness, it was delicious. Jack said it was one of the best things he ever had. But she got up this morning when I was doing the members only live stream, and she made 2 pans of it for us. It's absolutely delicious. When she made it the first time, all of the family was here for Christmas. I guess she was looking for something that she could kind of make ahead of time and feed a lot of people. It was so good, I went back for 3 refills. Everybody loved it. My goodness, it was delicious. It's just making me hungry thinking about it. It was delicious, yes. Mrs. W is a hell of a cook. It's getting to the point now where her cooking she's taking it next level. I'm often disappointed at restaurants. All right, let's take a look at our mailbox. That's another project that I have to take care of for the next day or two, is to fix this mailbox. All right, let's go have a seat. So this is the world's strongest mailbox. It is 1/8-inch plate steel. Heavy. Even the flag, look at how nice that steel post in concrete. This is my addition to it. The tree of my people, but it got knocked off. So the snowplow comes and the wash knocked it off. And so when I built this, I designed a breakaway, and that's this 1x here. So the 1x is designed to tear and shred and the mailbox fall off, so it didn't take out the whole post, and it did exactly what I was hoping it would do. So thank goodness for that. So it's just sitting up here until I can get that sorted. Not ideal there. So these are the next batch to go out for the warband. Flag up, okay. It could be, Josh. Man, the patches take forever to be made, and I under-ordered, and then they were shut down, and so I got the next. How come we're not? Oh, the brake's on. Good grief. The next order that I'm waiting on should make everyone whole. That's a great idea, a magnetic mount. That's a better idea. Then I wouldn't have to replace that board. That's quite clever, actually. I'm going to think on that. Oh, patch manufacturers are terrible, and these patches are expensive. Even the best price I could... Well, I'm not going to... It doesn't matter what they cost. I told you guys I would do it, and I'll do it. It's my problem. But I'm not happy with just any patch. I had to get the good ones. But you're right, man. These patch companies are shady. Head on down the road. We have a brand new member, Vincent. Welcome. You now have full access to the members only live stream and all to the past streams as well. So those will be unlocked for you now. And hope to see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, Lord willing, 6 a.m. for the members only live stream. And you'd be a good, if you haven't become a member and you haven't joined the Warband, it'd be a good time pretty soon, next day or two, because we're just wrapping up with our hero Joseph, and we're getting ready for our brand new study, which will take us into the winter. I'm guessing the temperature is probably right around freezing. See, Mr. Dry is over there working. So we're going to go right down over here and plow out Mr. Bryan's house. I think he's probably at work today. It's not too bad, just snow from today. No, this is a Yanmar tractor. Oh, he might be home. He might be out with the missus. Oh, wait a minute. They may still be out of town. I don't know. I'll have to check in with him. Oh, we're getting a lot of snow. It's really piling up. Just about need to put the chains on, but not quite. One more pass and we'll be in good shape. Have you all seen the inside of the cabin since we got it finished? I'm not sure who's here. If you haven't, we could... I'm kind of curious to go over there and take a look at that new door. Mr. Dry picked up the new door. A beautiful 2-panel Douglas fir door, solid core, for the bathroom, and I haven't seen it yet. I like the kerosene lantern, but it does make a little more odor, and it's a little bit fiddly to light. Since you have to have two different, you have to have isopropyl alcohol to light it. But once it's lit, I really like it. I love the kerosene lanterns, but they're both good. The dual fuel first, and then the kerosene for a backup is the way I would look at it. That looks pretty good. Shall we go take a look at the door, gentlemen? If you haven't seen the inside of the cabin, it's cute as a bug's ear. Oh, the wood stove that we bought, it's a brand that I would never heard of before, but they've been around for a long time. They're built in Canada, and a lot of people really like them for their simplicity. And I cannot remember the name of it. Mrs. W, if she's in the chat, she might remember it. We might ask her. Boy, this driveway's all needs a little work too. Let's plow out the cabin. We're gonna need second gear for this one. Don't have the angle right. Gravel's a whole different deal. You have to have a different angle for gravel than you do for asphalt. Just about need those chains slipping a little bit. Let's take one more pass here. I think I just moved more gravel than snow on that pass. No, I don't put salt on the driveway. There's no point. Not to mention that you don't want all that salt and everything running into your drainage and your land and killing everything. Back in the day, if you wanted to get revenge on your neighbor, you'd salt his field and it wouldn't grow anything. There's even mention of that in the good book. All right, shall we go take a look at that door? Yes, I have feet and I have feet on the plow. Oh, the safety seat. I hate that. I'm live streaming. Take lunch? Yeah, no problem. We'll see you later. It's looking good, Mr. Drya. Oh. So this is the cabin. Have you all, I think most of you have seen it. I did a video on it. But isn't it cute? Man, it's turned out nice. Oh, there's our door. So this is the little wood stove. The wood stove is made by Osburn. Osburn. And we chose this one because it's little. And it has a 2.5-inch setback from the wall, which we didn't have to have it out in the room. And it takes a full, you can put, I think, 18-inch piece of wood in it. So you can put full-length wood in it. It's just a little bit narrow. But a really nice, simple stove, very high quality. And this is the type of thing that's nice. You don't want a complicated stove if you're going to have guests and friends staying in your cabin. Like my Hearthstone, it took us a year before we figured out how to run that thing properly. This one here is kind of plug and play. But it's a very nice stove. I would highly recommend it. It's an Osborne. It's not an Osborne 940. It's an Osburn, Osburn. But we also have the backup Mr. Cool, the mini split for to keep it warm in here. But that also is has been an excellent heater. Really happy with that. Very quiet, was easy to install. I'm a big fan of those. I would consider those for sure. But this is the new door. Look at that. Fir door with a hemlock jamb. 2-panel. That is beautiful. Isn't that nice? 7 1/4 inch jambs. Excellent. That door will go here. We just hung up a temporary curtain here for the bathroom, but you can see that would go here and finish. That's really the last thing for the inside. Here's the little bathroom and shower. There's a hook up here for a stack washer and dryer. We don't have that in here, but if we wanted to, we could put that in. Dining room, 400 square feet. This bed turns into, it's a full queen, turns into a queen. So you can sleep 2 down here and you can sleep 5 or 6, 4 or 5 upstairs. Full kitchen. Lots of windows. Really nice kitchen. That turned out great. Mrs. W picked out that cool little light. I don't know how many logs. A lot. A lot. Upstairs, we have 4 beds in here currently. These will push together and you can make basically a queen, or we could have 5 individual ones, but the way it's laid out now. But there's definitely room for 5, but 4 fits in really nice. Very proud of this cabin. It exceeded my expectations in every single way. Very cool. Very happy with that door. So we'll install that here sometime soon. Got to build stairs too, obviously. Yep, the drainage issue is solved. I've got that all taken care of, thank goodness. Yeah, it's a really nice little stove. It's no frills, pretty kind of bare bones, simple design, but it is it's an excellent stove. We had non-fire, non-wood stove knowing people living with it for a week, and I think they built fire every day. They didn't have any trouble at all. Yeah, the flat top is nice for cooking. I don't have any plans, Arctic. I don't even know what tomorrow's video will be, let alone 2025. I'm open for suggestions. I've been thinking about, there's a couple timber framing projects I'd like to do. Nothing major, but one thing I would like to do is to, on the side of my main shop, the one that I shoot most of my videos in, On the north side, I would like to do a timber framed shed, like a lean-to attachment that attaches to the side of it, so that I can put my fuel, my diesel and gas, my big tanks underneath of it, and store all of my firewood. Be able to put about 10 cord in there or so, 20, a big one, or have 5-10 cord of wood, fuel, and then room for one of the tractors, like the tractor that's all set up for the snow plow under cover, all plugged in there. So I've been thinking about doing that actually. Maybe I'll go talk to my local sawmill, design it first, get kind of a cut sheet, and see if he can't cut the timbers. I'd make it all 6x6, make it big. Oh, thank you for that. Battle Chemist. Had the camera angle down. And thank you for that super chat. All right, let's do our final cleanup, and then I'm going to go in and get my breakfast. Arctic is asking me to revive the cheapest stuff on Amazon. To be honest with you, those videos were fun to make, but I think the joy, for me, I don't know, just the joy of just buying useless junk, I don't know, man, it just doesn't hit like it used to. I just have no desire for that whatsoever anymore. Maybe we could figure out something that's like it, but that would be less frivolous. You know what I mean? Especially when there's so many people that are struggling financially and things are getting so expensive. To go on and to intentionally break stuff and destroy stuff is, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the time for that. Looks like I got a little bit of cleanup to do. I can do that in third gear and move her a little bit quicker. Goodness, we have a super chat from Mr. Dave, who writes, finally got a drop by the live stream. Always missing them in England time. Good to see you, Cody. Pray for me, friend. I need a solution to a major problem that I have. Well, I appreciate that, David. And if you can, come to the morning live stream. We start at 6 o'clock. I know it's probably going to be difficult for you. I don't know what time that is for you, but bring your prayer requests in there and have the warband pray for you over your situation. You don't have to. You can keep it anonymous, but we'd be happy to do that. So if you can, drop by tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see you there. But thank you for your super chat. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Cool stuff ain't cheap. Man, that should be on a poster or a t-shirt. That is so true. Every once in a while you find something that's not expensive that is really cool, but that's a rare find. Well, if you can't make the live stream, David, put your prayer request in an email, send it to me, Cody@Wranglerstar.com, and I'll bring it myself to the warband tomorrow and put you in our book. And our newest member, Mr. Engineer 1075, he'll be there tomorrow. So again, if we have a Monday through Friday, a morning live stream at 6 in the morning for our warband members. If you'd like to join the warband to be part of that and get into God's word, and really if you've never heard or studied the Bible or don't know what it's all about, this is for you. There's no elitism there. We have a good portion of our members are brand new members hearing these things for the very first time. And we also have some very, very high quality men in there that are strong men of the book that contribute tremendously as well. So if you want to be part of that, just become a member and you'll immediately get access to the morning live streams. But welcome, Engineer 1075. You are our brand newest member. I'm also going to be organizing a warband enduro motorcycle adventure. Now this is going to be for enduro bikes, but it's not going to be difficult. If you can ride on a logging road, it'll be nothing harder than double track. Dirt, gravel would be the worst, but smooth dirt and gravel. An adventure, a multi-day adventure, probably 2 or 3 days that could start and end at our place. I haven't decided yet, depends, but that will be an invitation only through the warband members. So if that's something you're interested in, that's a perk we have coming up too that I'm really looking forward to. Mr. Brian will be attending, maybe Mr. Peter, and we're actually I kind of have the course in mind where I want to take everyone. Some of the most beautiful scenery and country in America, and the warband, Lord willing, will be coming along with us. So again, no special skills will be required. If you have a dual sport motorcycle that's suitable to ride on gravel and it's street legal, then that would be sufficient. I think if I had to guess what the ideal bike for this would be something like a Honda CRF 250L or an XR650L or any of the KTMs that are street legal, dual sport, anything dual sported. BMWs, KLR, Kawasaki's, you guys know. Welcome, Mr. Jacob Nyman, our newest member. Not only that, but you get my zesty hat next to your name as the official Proho avatar. And as you proceed in time, you level up to different avatars. Yes, basically a weekend getaway. Yeah, it'd be a long weekend. Probably come rolling in on Friday. That'd be a day to get set up. And if you can bring your RV, or you can bring a tent. You can sleep in your car. We could probably put together some local accommodations for those that want to do that. Even if you were out of state or even out of country, you could fly in. We could probably figure out some resources you could rent a motorcycle for a couple days, but that's what I'd think. Ride on, leave maybe Friday morning or Saturday morning or Friday, who knows what. We could do whatever we want to, but yes, a long weekend. A shop toolbox tour, I could do that. I actually have a pretty good setup. Let's see, we're gonna need to clear out in front of the shop here, so let's back in. You want a toolbox tour on the stream, or are you talking about should we do a video? Video would probably be better. What's my opinion on Icon Tools? Icon Tools, that's Harbor Freight's new brand, their premium line. I do not own any, but I watch, I watch a lot of YouTubes like you guys do, and so I watch all those reviews. I watch the reviews of Icon versus Snap-on. Well, first off, no thinking person is going to say that they're the same as Snap-on. They're not, but that doesn't mean that they're not good. So I know a couple guys that have Icon toolboxes that say the toolboxes are very nice. I've heard really nothing but good about the tools, to be honest with you. But I don't personally own any. But I think that they're probably a good choice. You know, I think that those Milwaukee hand tools look pretty nice too. They have some really smart storage options and some really good kits. And like their ratchets and sockets, they actually look pretty good, and they're really affordable. Yeah, Mac is good too. My granddad had a probably about a 50-50 split between Mac and Snap-on tools. He was a professional mechanic his whole life as well. I've seen some good Tecton tools as well. Oh, it's really snowing, gentlemen. It hasn't let up since we started the stream. Proto makes a good tool. S&K makes a good tool. Cornwell, or whatever it is. I don't know if they're still around. They used to make a good tool. The old Sears Craftsman stuff those were great tools. There's a lot of that stuff around in the used market. That's the type of thing you take the day and a couple $100 in your pocket in the summertime and hit garage sales and put yourself together a good old vintage Craftsman toolbox or toolkit. Where I would start with my toolkit would be the first thing that you would buy would be a set of end wrenches, box end wrenches, metric and standard. And you're going to want 1/4 inch to 7/8 minimum. 1/4 inch to 1 inch is better. But if you don't have big trucks and tractors, you don't need 1 inch. So get a good set of end wrenches from 1/4 inch to 7/8, and in metric from 6 to, let's say, 20 millimeters, something like that. Then you're going to get yourself a set of, you're going to go on Amazon and you're going to look up Williams brand screwdrivers. Williams is made by Snap-on. It's their industrial line. They have less polish, less fit and finish. They're more basic bones, more utilitarian, not as bougie as Snap-on tools are, but still excellent quality. But with the Williams screwdriver sets, they're exactly the same, 100% identical. I've tested this. As the Snap-on screwdrivers for half the price. And go get the full set. You can get a full set for about $80. Phillips number 1, Phillips number 2 and 3, and small, medium, large, flat blade. And so you got your wrenches, and you've got your screwdriver set. Next, you're going to buy a socket set, 3/8 drive. You want that to be about the same. You want that to be about 1/8 inch, or 3/16 or so, up to 7/8, 15/16, and then a full metric set. And you're going to get yourself a ratchet, a 3/8 drive regular ratchet, and you're going to get yourself a flex handle, 12 to 24 inch, a breaker bar, And then you're going to get yourself a set of 3 basic extensions, a 3-inch, a 6-inch, and a 9 or a 12-inch. And then you're going to get yourself a hammer, a ball peen hammer. You need a small one, about an 8 to 10 ounce. And then you're going to want about a 28 to 30 ounce ball peen hammer. If you can get one that's shot filled, that's even better. And you're going to get a 12-inch mill bastard file. You're writing all this down, right? And you're going to get a set of basic cold chisels. And then you're going to need some pliers. Some slip joint pliers. A pair of channel locks. And what I would recommend for pliers is I would buy Knipex. Get a set of Knipex Cobra pliers. If you just want to get one plier, get 2. Get a large Cobra and get a smaller Cobra. You're going to want an 8-inch crescent wrench. And you're going to want a good work light, a trouble light, a light that will stand on its own, that's kind of adjustable, that you can use when you're working on your cars in dark areas. That's your basic kit. What else? I know there's a lot of guys in here that have more experience than I do, but what would you add for a guy just getting started? What would you add to that? I'm not going to get involved in impact wrenches and electric tools and such. This is just a basic set. Vice grips. A set of vice grips, brand vice grips, or better yet, Knipex vice grips. I have those too, and those are even better. Tape measure, yep. Get a tape measure. If you're not a carpenter and you're just doing pro-ho stuff, then a 16-foot tape measure is enough. Get a 16-foot Stanley Fat Max. And if you're going to do carpentry work or build anything, then get a 25. I wouldn't recommend a titanium hammer. We're not talking about a titanium hammer is going to be for carpentry. We're not talking about carpentry tools. That's a whole different category. This is mechanics tools. Carpentry tools are completely separate. And I have found that carpentry tools and mechanics tools do not translate well. They're just not suitable for each other. The saddest thing you'll ever have to do is when you can't find your framing hammer and you have to pound in a bunch of 16-penny nails with a ball peen hammer. It's not a nice experience. The board stretcher, yep, you need the board stretcher. And you need the stump grease. So HK45C, he's a 35-year auto tech. He says that the only thing Mac made better than Snap-on was the ball joint press kit. So now that you know that, cat tools are made by Snap-on and sold through cat. I did know that. I've had several people tell me that Snap-on has branded the cat tools. I don't know the prices on them. That's one thing I don't know. Are they... like if I want to go buy an 80-tooth Snap-on 3/8 drive standard hard handle ratchet, what am I going to pay for that? Oh, I know what I'm going to pay from Snap-on, but how is it going to be less if it's a branded Caterpillar? Blinker fluid, of course. I would also add to that mechanics list a basic set of pry bars. 3 pry bars, like a 6, maybe a 8 or 9 incher, a maybe a 16, a 24. If you're doing your own brakes and ball joints and that sort of thing, you're going to want the pry bars. You can get away with one pry bar if it's about 12 inches long. That would be pretty good. Two-thirds the price. And that surprises me. I didn't know that. That's a pretty good savings. I buy a lot of my Snap-on tools secondhand. I would rather have secondhand Snap-on tools for half price, I think, than the Caterpillar tools. Because you want to impress your friends when they're coming over. I detest a rubber mallet. I find a rubber mallet is almost useless for anything. Like the old school ones, they're terrible. What's not terrible, though, is a shot-filled rubber mallet. That's the one you want. I think that's probably what you're meaning. A shot-filled, you don't want that as your only hammer. You need a ball peen hammer first. And after you get a ball peen hammer, that you could argue that the shot-filled soft hammer, to buy that first, because I actually use my shot-filled hammers more. But no, you got to have a ball peen. There's just no way around it. You need to have both. But yeah, the shot-filled rubber hammer is it's where it's at. Yes, yeah. I kind of assumed that's what you were going for. A shot-filled hammer, if you don't know, so inside the hammer is hollow, and they put steel or lead. I don't know what they use. I cut one apart one time, and it was little tiny steel ball bearings. And what happens is that if you've ever slammed a hammer down on concrete or something hard, it bounces back. And so it's a really ingenious design. So as the hammer, let's say you're going to smack the ground, as you smack the ground with it, when the hammer wants to bounce back, that's right the moment that the shot slams forward into the front of the hammer and holds it securely down, so you get no bounce back. It's once you use one, you can't go back to the other ones. I have this. If you buy a Snap-on hammer or a Williams hammer, even my ball peen hammers have that feature. So they're quite wonderful. Dead blow hammer, yes, thank you. That's the actual name for it. It's brilliant. The old the USA Craftsman tools they're excellent tools. I'll tell you, if I walked into a guy's shop and he was fully kitted out with a Craftsman box and the old USA made Craftsman, the Sears Craftsman tools, I would definitely give a nod of respect. I would actually think that was cooler than Icon. Oh, I'm on TikTok. I upload there regularly now. I have a new channel. It's just search Proho. I put a video up there 3 days ago that did 250,000 views in 18 hours. I don't make anything from TikTok. I've heard some people say it pays, but I've never experienced that. I don't make anything off TikTok. I'm not really sure how all that works. But TikTok is much better platform for the user than YouTube, in my opinion. I find that the best content on the web is there, and the algorithm is amazing. That's where you go. That's where I go for news, not from lying news agencies, but from people that are actually on the scene in real time as it happens. Citizen journalists. YouTube is terrible, yeah. And the Google search engine is worse. YouTube's becoming completely unwatchable. Like, it's trying to find new content or anything. I watch it. I'm subscribed to the channels that I'm subscribed to. I just go there and watch that. But as far as trying to get information anymore, I rarely use it. Now I just use ChatGPT, and TikTok is where I go for information. X, I started using Twitter a little bit recently. I don't post anything on there, but it's pretty good. Twitter's good if you want to find things that are not uncensored, which sometimes you want. If I'm going to watch a video captured of someone running a car through a group of people, I'm old and mature enough to handle. I can handle watching it. I want to see it. I don't want someone telling me what happened. I want to see it for myself. And that's the only place that I know of to find it is on Twitter. All right, Mr. Josh, it was good having you here. Hope to see you in tomorrow's stream. Oh, goodness. I just grabbed an extension cord. I don't think I broke it, though. I forgot that was there. Yeah, all's well. Rumble? Oh, yeah, Rumble's trash. I've tried so many times. I want it to succeed. I hope it does well, but it's not usable. Or maybe I should give it another chance. I haven't been on it for maybe 6 months or so, but it was not good then. I don't know if Mount Fuji is there or not. I would say visibility right now is about 1,000 feet because of the heavy snowfall. We got so much snow stacked up around here, it feels like a ski lodge. Goodness, we have a super chat from our brother Chris Jewell. Shout out to you, Chris. Chris has got a question for us. Chris asks, $5 for diesel fund. Thank you for having us along for the ride. See you in the morning. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. And we're definitely burning diesel today. That was very kind of you. Thank you, brother. Yeah, we just have a little bit of cleanup to do here in a few spots, but it's looking pretty good. So if you're getting your comments deleted, it's because you're not acting right. So if you get banned, rather than taking offense and crying about it, look at what it is that you did, receive your correction from my trusted warband members, and keep it moving. I trust my moderators. I don't second guess what they do. I'm debating whether I should throw some chains on the Yanmar here. I could throw putting the rear chains on is the labors of Hercules, but the front ones go on pretty quick, and the front ones are usually all I really need. That gives me the ability to steer. Yeah, Jack could definitely come out and plow. Mrs. W was a little under the weather today, and so Jack is looking after the sweet loaf and taking care of Mrs. W. So I'll be out here plowing here today. I think we checked the hours on the Yanmar earlier. It was just about, what was it, 700, 750, 760, something like that. Now here's the most important part. You got to make sure that you plow out in front of your mailbox for the postman. These rural postal carriers have a pretty hard job, and one thing they don't need is to have to deal with mailboxes that are not plowed. I'll tell you, if I was a rural postal carrier and someone didn't plow out their box, they'd have to come get their mail at the post office. I wouldn't fool with it. I see a lot of people that don't do this. Yeah, I remember breaking the window of the Yanmar. We broke the rear window of the Yanmar because I had the window up and I lifted the post hole digger. We had he's called me during the stream. I don't like it because no one has my phone number except for my family, or very few people, and I'm afraid it's going to knock us off the stream. Yeah, so when Jack just called my phone, and it knocks the stream off. So Mrs. W, if she's watching, please tell Jack to stop calling my phone when I'm streaming. Oh goodness, I pulled the postal driver out of the ditch so many times. So many times. Even multiple times in one day. Goodness, we have a super chat from Just Dave, who writes, how long have you had your Yanmar now? Also, do they have case tractors there, as I always had a like for them? I like the old Case Internationals and the big old Ford, like the Ford 8Ns. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have Case here. Their Case are pretty popular. I see them a lot in Idaho for big ag tractors, and they're pretty heavy in construction. You know, the Case, like the 580 backhoes and such. But I don't see a lot of small Case tractors. I don't know that I've ever seen one here in the valley or anything like under 50 horse before. But I agree, I like those old tractors as well. But this one, it looks like a Case because it's red. You know, they're the same color. But it's a Yanmar, so it's made in Japan. It's a very high quality tractor. Probably better than John Deere. But thank you for that super chat. Mrs. W, can you tell Jack to stop calling me? Every time he calls me, it interrupts the stream. He's called me twice today. Or twice during the stream. Yeah, I'm ready for some food. I'll just finish up cleaning out these last spots here, and then I'll be in a couple minutes. What time do you want me to come in? How much time does he need? I would definitely have some of that casserole you made this morning. Yeah, Jack. Tell Jack if he wants to talk, he has to send a super chat. That's the best thing ever. I have not touched the skid steer. It's actually what I was thinking of doing was when we get done here, I'm gonna go grab my breakfast, and then I think I'm gonna get the skid steer and bring it into the shop and dig into it. Do we have any Caterpillar technicians in the chat? They can give me some advice. Does anyone know where the oil pressure sensor is? Someone sent me an email after the stream this morning and said it's probably under the back engine cover, somewhere near the oil filter. But I don't know if that's true or not. Yes, I do, Jeffrey. I have both. I started with the analog Baofeng radios, and if that's what you have or that's what's in your budget, they are great radios for the price. A lot of the warband members are using them. However, the digital radios have a lot of advantages. Many advantages. And to me, it's worth the extra cost. So we've actually, the entire warband, the local band here, we've all converted over to the digitals. And they're far superior. That's not to say that the Baofengs are not completely serviceable and great radios. We used the Baofengs for years with great success. I still have a full set of them. That's what I hand out. You know, if I think I have 8 digital radios, and I have probably as many Baofengs, maybe a dozen Baofengs, and those are the ones I hand out to folks locally if they don't have a radio. Or if you're gonna give one to a kid that might lose it, it's easier to lose a Baofeng, a $65 Baofeng, than a $400 digital radio. Joe's asking, what is my preferred bag pouch brand? My favorite is SOE. John over SOE, all USA made. Excellent. I have a lot of their stuff now. I have to say, I'm also, if you don't require everything to be USA made, like John's stuff is. I'm pretty happy with the Vertex stuff, to be honest. The Vertex has got a series of kind of these square bags of all different sizes. I think they're called the VTAC or something like that. And they are, they're really nice bags. And that's what I use in my truck for like my retrieval gear and all those kits. I would prefer the SOE bags, but I don't have SOE bags for everything. But the Vertex bags are pretty decent, and they're affordable. They're not made in the U.S., so they're overseas produced. Well, I don't think there's anything more to plow here. We'll do one more turn, and that'll be about it. So we have a super chat from Special K206 with a very good question. On boots. I wore boots a lot this winter. What's your go-to winter boot this year? JKs? Yes, the JKs. Usually if I'm going to be the JKs are my go-to boot. Yeah, I'm not wearing them today, only because I had them out in the shop. They weren't handy, and I had my Nix urban loggers. So I'll show you. I got my camera here. So this is usually what I like now. I like the shorter boots. So this is a 6-inch. So it's a shorter one. It's easier to put on. This is the Nick's Urban Logger. And if you, oh goodness, open the door. It scared me. Thought I was gonna fall out. If you use Obenauf's grease and you take care of them, they're darn near waterproof. You know, you're not gonna go fly fishing in them, but you can, if you're in the snow or just not standing in water, they're really good. But you pair that with a gaiter, a snow gaiter, and that you can go in as deep as snow as you want. I wear them inside the pants. You can see these are OR gaiters, and the gaiter keeps the snow out of your boots. And this is the setup right there. It's perfect. I can't stand those. I can't stand wearing those rubber muck boots, slopping around. They're clumsy. They're hot. They don't breathe. They're made out of oil. They're just hateful things, and they're very ill-fitting. I mean, you go sliding around like a silly firefighter in those things. I do not like them. I have them. I know everyone loves them, thinks that they're the best. I think that they're terrible. So this is what I wear. I wear the gaiter with the 6-inch boot. So whether it be the Nicks or the JKs, all those boots are excellent. Excellent. But good question. And thank you for that super chat. Goodness, we have a super chat from Bees Like Candles, who says, love your channel. Longtime fan, you have helped me learn so much about homesteading. Curious, do you happen to use beeswax candles in your home? When I have them, they're absolutely my favorite. Actually, that's what I gave my sister for Christmas. I found the world's biggest beeswax candle. It was 8 inches in diameter and 16 inches tall with 3 wicks. I think it weighed 25 pounds or something like that. And that's what I sent her for Christmas. But yes, love beeswax candles. Definitely the gold standard. But thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that super chat, Bees Light. I love beeswax candles. I use beeswax. I have a couple subscribers that keep bees, and every 5 years or so, this has been the way it's been in the past, they send me a big brick of beeswax because they know I like to use it on so many different things. I use it in carpentry. I use it to seal the ends of wood so it doesn't check, and I really use it a lot in blacksmithing to do the final coating. So I love beeswax, and there's no better smell in the shop than melted beeswax. It is divine. So if you want to become the official supplier of beeswax to the war band, to the war camp, then I'll give you some love. I'll do you a video and link over to your site. I don't often buy them as much as I would like to because they're so expensive. Beeswax is quite precious. But there's no equal to it. Yeah, I would far prefer a Sorel Caribou style boot, a rubber pack boot. I'm not opposed to those. I have a pair of those and I've worn those for years. The fit seems to be better. I can get a nice snug fit in a Sorel, like a pack or a Caribou, that doesn't bother me. So if I'm not going to be doing a lot of walking, but I'm going to be in extreme cold, then an uninsulated leather boot is not suitable. So if you're like in really, really cold climate, then you have to have a boot like that. But I could tolerate those. I don't mind those terribly, but I certainly don't want to do a ton of walking in them. We have a brand new member, Mr. Bees Light Candles. We hope to see you tomorrow for tomorrow's members only live stream. Every morning at 5 or 6 West Coast time, Monday through Friday. A felt footbed is nice. I like a felt footbed. I wear, I guess the shoe I wear primarily is they're made in Poland, and it's made by Magic Shoes or Magic Feet. and they have a model called the Alaskan. Can one of you pull up the Magic Shoes Alaskan shoe? I have 3 pair of those, and those are barefoot shoes, meaning they're 0 drop, and they're for people that like to go barefoot like myself. But they're made for winter, and they're lined with lamb's wool, even on the footbeds, and they are excellent shoes. Excellent shoes. Goodness, we have a super chat from Mr. Andrew. All the best to you and yours for the new year. Thank you, Andrew. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. But yeah, drop a link in there on those Alaskans, the Polish Alaskan. I think it's Magic Shoes. I think Simply Safe is a good system for just a basic, if you just want something that's affordable and easy to use that anyone could install. We have it in the house. I had it in the shop, but I recently replaced the cameras. I needed a more professional, like a full government quality commercial military grade surveillance system on the shop and around the perimeter, and so I recently upgraded to a closed private system with a NVR recorder where it's all kept in-house with professional grade 4K cameras and all the technology stuff that comes with that. So that's a whole nother level, but now we're talking what, 4 times the price, 6 times the price. So if you want something that you can do yourself and will work and get you going, it's reasonably affordable, then it's a good system, and it's very easy to install, and everything is very easy to use. But if you need a professional grade system, that's not the one. Not everyone needs a professional chainsaw, but they need a saw, right? So it's better to have a consumer grade saw that you have that works, that you can use, than no saw at all. But it's not a substitute for a professional saw, is it? Oh, my camera. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Brian. Thank you for that super chat and for the reminder. And for Mike. Thank you, Mike. We're back. Driving first. Yeah, what do they say? Fly the plane. All right, we're looking good. We got the best plowed driveway on the whole street. Looks like the county came here and plowed it. It should be. It took long enough. Goodness, we have a super chat from Mr. B's Lights Candles for $50. I got to address that. Put some respect upon his name. Thank you for that. That's very kind of you. B's Light Candles says, we can talk whenever. Just let me know how to contact you. I'd love to advertise with you. Yeah, and you don't need to pay to advertise. What I do, we work with a lot of advertisements, and to have your stuff on my channel is worth a lot of money. There's people that pay lots of money for that access. But when it comes to small guys that have small businesses like yourself and many, many others, whether it be Ridge Runner Blades or Evan at Radio Made Easy, I would never charge those guys. I'm happy. I think a quid pro quo, I think it's fair to exchange product if it's a good product that I believe in, that I use for exposure. So if you want to do something like that, I'm happy to do it. I benefit, my family benefits, you will benefit, and I like to do that for the small guys. I would not do that for big companies, but I definitely do that for small guys. So you can send me an email to Cody@Wranglerstar.com, and we can put it together. But it's especially nice if you have something new or something you want to get the word out, or you know how it works. So I'll be happy to do that for you. But thank you for that super chat. $50 is very, very generous of you. Really do appreciate that. Proho beeswax candles. Yeah, maybe there's even a signature candle in our future. A beeswax candle is one of the pleasures of life. Now, it's inappropriate for you to ask how much we charge sponsors. You know that. And quite frankly, it's no one's business but ours, is it? As much as we can. How about that? I'm not sure if the guys are sending our USA made merch, if they're sending it international or not. I probably should know that. But if you pose that question up there, they can tell you. If Old at Heart or Mr. Jason Barr, Ridge Runner Blades, is there in the chat, they could answer that. I'm not sure if they decided to do that. I think so, but don't quote me. Boy, I think I am going to pull my truck inside the shop because it is getting very snowy. So here's what we'll do, gentlemen. I will give you a quick toolbox tour because you guys asked for it. Right after I back my truck in the shop. We'll put our tractor. I think there's a good chance we might be plowing and having another SnowStream tonight if the snow keeps up. Oh, the backup beeper is not required. It's just, the thing is that they buried it so deep in the undercarriage that it hasn't bothered me so much that I wanted to tear in there and unhook it, to be honest with you. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. All right, let's go bring the Ford in. So we have nice clear windows if we need to go somewhere. If I can get around Jack, we're going to see how good those tires are. Can I get through 2 foot of snow? Stay tuned to find out here. Jack's car does pretty good. I put KO2s. I put a 2-inch lift kit, or 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches, whatever it is, on that Outback with those KO2s, and that's a heck of a good snow car right there. Oh, here's the Alaskans. I got a green pair right here. This is my favorite shoe, or among my favorite shoes. This is my everyday shoe, but this is a barefoot shoe. No structure to it. Wide toe box, 0 drop, zipper, so they're fast in, and completely lined with lamb's wool and full leather. These are excellent, excellent shoes. Very well made too. Wet snow. That snow is what's piled up since we've been streaming, I think. I believe I had that cleared off. That's a couple inches. I'm gonna put my chat up here. All right, I got you back there. If you have any questions, Sarah. Yeah, these trucks, this truck is really tall, especially with the King suspension on it. It's a, all right, let's see, 4-wheel drive. Lock the rear differential. I hate all that traction control nonsense. I go 4 low. I'll take charge myself. I might get stuck. Yeah, there's a good chance of it. I don't know if we're going to get out of here without moving Jack's car anyway. We'll see here. These Goodyear tires, though, are phenomenal so far. So this is 2 foot of snow on grass. And slipping a little bit, but not a problem. Excellent, excellent tires. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Brakes are a little wet. This truck's so big, it's a pretty tight fit in here. I think that'll do it. It did sound like Chewbacca. Well, you're catching me in the wild here. I haven't had time to organize my toolbox. I don't even know what state it's in, but I usually keep it in pretty good state. Finish up with a tour. Now, I don't do that. I'm not doing this to show off and brag. I have actually a pretty modest tool collection. It's just ideas. We learn from each other, and I find that with this particular toolbox, if it's not useful to me, it's gone, and it goes in an overflow toolbox over there. So in here is what I find to be of daily use, or useful, right? Did I leave you all in the truck? No, I brought you over. Oh, goodness, I'm losing my mind. Okay. Top drawer. Ratchets, 3/8. All my ratchets, I like the hard handles. And I get different colors for each one. Handled extensions, torque wrench, 1/4-inch drive extensions, 3/8 drive extensions with adapters, 1/2-inch drive extensions with adapters, or yeah, just extensions. Some specialty sockets, impacts 3/8 metric, impacts 3/8 standard, Torx, Allens, 1/4-inch drive Torx and adapters, 1/2-inch drive, shallow, metric and standard, 3/8 drive deep, standard, 3/8 drive deep. These are not deep, these are 3/4 sockets, the in between, metric, 1/4-inch drive standard, 1/4-inch drive metric. That's in the top drawer. And then a lot of specialty tools, Torx. These I'll use with drills and impacts, you know, Allens, safety Torx, Phillips, adapters, different things. And these are the best carriers. These are Mechanics Time Saver. These are USA made. They used to be by MTS. And they're magnetic. This is the one you want. These are the good ones. There's so many crummy ones out there. This is the original one that I bought. I bought this one off the Snap-on truck. Good, 30 years ago. Probably 30 years ago for my Torx. Mechanics Time Saver. These were actually sold on the Snap-on truck. So those are really good. And I found them directly from the company and they were cheaper. So I bought them from them. So that's the top drawer. Semi-deep. Yeah, semi-deep are the way to go, for sure. Screwdrivers. So screwdrivers are mostly Snap-on. Most of my tools are Snap-on. Big ones, long Phillips. Panel tools. These are some of the handiest tools you can own. Right here, these are made for taking door panels off, but this, I cannot say enough good about it. This as well, especially for getting radiator hoses. You know how the radiator hose gets kind of frozen up around the core support? You can take that in there and ring that around there and get that off. Very nice. This is a Schrader valve tool. Snap-on ice pick. Also an essential tool. Screwdrivers, number 2 Phillips, all the way up to number 4. Dedicated Torx. These are a Japanese brand. These are good too. Wera, I like their tools. Wera's, Stubbies, O-ring pick. That should be here because that's a primary important tool. Stubby screwdrivers, they're right here. End wrenches, metric and standard. So 1/4-inch up to, what do I have? Up 1 1/16, 1 1/8 maybe for the big one. What's a super wrench? Williams. That's made by Snap-on. That's an original Williams. Snap-on must have bought them 1 1/4. Some ratchet wrenches. I don't use those very often, but when you need them, a few line wrenches. And then this is all metric over here. Wera, German. Yeah, I think you're right. This is just, I'll be careful what I show on stream there. This is kind of just a junk drawer, or it's turned into one. Zip ties, some Allens, just scrapers, feeler gauges. These are the screws that are in my femur. 3 of these. I feel them every morning. They're very uncomfortable. It's gruesome. This is a reminder of don't be foolish. 3 of those. No, I don't fill up drawers. The junk goes over there. This is only for things that I actually use. This is the toolbox that I work out of. This is my plier drawer. And these are pretty much all necessary. Snap-on slip joints. Snap-on, their needle nose pliers are the best. This is the first pair of Snap-on pliers I ever bought. No, this one. this one, and then this one. Slip joints. This one, I bought it, but I've never once used it. It has the flank drive in there. You're supposed to be able to get a pretty good purchase on a nut and bolt. But well, just like anything, I find tools that are made to do more than one thing that are not very good. So not recommended. If you need to turn a wrench, get a wrench. Knipex makes great pliers too. I would say on par with Snap-on, made in Germany. Here's a pair of Snap-ons that I bought. They're supposed to be able to crush 3 or 4 times more pressure than regular pliers. I find them unhandy, and I never use them, and they're of no value. But these guys right here, oof. These are Snap-on's new pliers, and they are exquisite. These are so good that you can, and I've done this on video, you can pick up a dime by the ring on flat ground with both of these. These are excellent, excellent, excellent tools. That's why I have 3 of them. Excellent tools. Big Knipex cutters for hardwire. For the finer things, Snap-on side wire cutters, hardwire cutters, and flush cuts for soft wire. These are flush cut, and I don't use these for anything steel. Only cut soft, like copper, brass, or zip tie plastic with these. But these are flush cut, so you can cut up tight to something, where these are not flush cut. These are excellent, excellent tools as well. Excellent. This is a set of mini Knipex bolt cutters. If you have something that you really need to put the suede on, 1/4-inch bolt, or you need to trim it or cut it, these are excellent as well. And really compact. They're quite amazing. Just got these. This is the new Snap-on electrical crimpers. These are excellent. This is the PWC S7ACF. Excellent, excellent tool. I love these tools. Insulated crimper and uninsulated. And look at the little biters they have on the end. Goodness, these are so good. So good. These I bought for some reason. I find these to be completely useless. Never use them. These even worse. I don't know why I bought these. I don't know that I've ever used them to be. Maybe I have. I don't remember. Recently got these. These are actually made by CRKT. Right there. And they make them for Snap-on. These are amazing scissors. You should have a good pair of scissors in your shop. They have a cap lifter on them. But man, these are great scissors. So, so good. Serrations. They cut they cut as good as trauma shears, but they're a lot more precise. But I like these a lot. One of my subscribers sent these to me. These are excellent too. These are Knipex needle nose, and these are smooth. They don't have any serrations on them, so they won't grasp things very well. They slip off. But if you need to get into something small or hold something that you don't want to mar or damage, I find that these tools, this little set here, are excellent for that. For really small, little detailed work, they're excellent. Split ring, snap ring, pliers, of course. Blue Point, Snap-on, similar. These are Snap-on here. These are pretty essential. This is a cheap pair of pliers that came with my Husqvarna at the factory toolkit on my dirt bike. And I modified these. I shaved off a little bit right here for removing master links on chains. This is an old pro tip. So these things are notoriously difficult to get off. And so with that extra length on there, pop, and it's off. So I learned that from an old motorcycle racer. So they're not good pliers, but they're purpose-built for a specific task. Safety wire pliers. There's some things especially if I'm racing, I'll safety wire on my bike. So those are nice to have. These are the Knipex vice grips, made in Germany. Look at that. These are the best. So good. I bought these 30 years ago. So channel locks, big channel locks, or anything you don't have a wrench big enough for. These are Blue Points. I've used those a lot. Crescent wrench in there from Husky. This is not my tool. I think this might be belong in Mr. Jariah's box. This was my old set of crimpers, which I don't need because I replaced them with these nice snap-ons, which are better. These are channel lock, I believe. And then the God Hand. Made in Japan for fine modeling. Absolute precision. This is what I use for cutting zip ties. Flush cut, of course. Yeah, that femur screw is wicked. It gives me the heavies just thinking about it. Next drawer. Oh, that's pretty disorganized. Hammers and files and punches and pry bars. Shot-filled large ball peen. Shot-filled small ball peen. Shot-filled. This one's nice because it gets into tight areas. I had a bigger one, but I broke it. And I think I never got it warranted. I don't know where that went to. But I am kind of lacking. I need this weight, but with this head. That's one thing I'm kind of missing. Bought this one recently. This is a great hammer. Is that shot filled? I think so. But these are replaceable. You got a hard rubber and a soft rubber for when you want to persuade something and not break it or mar it. Pry bars, large, medium, small. Basic set of files. File card. Punches. Drifts. Brass drift. Brass is softer than steel, so if you don't want to mar something, I'll use this if I want to. This was from my granddad's in his box. I don't know. I don't know what it was originally. Kind of interesting. It's got that steel ring on it with those indexing lines. I don't know what that was. But I use it, for example, pushing bearings out where you want to put something in a race so it doesn't scratch it because it's soft. The brass hammers, this is the brass hammer here, is something I use quite a bit. Love having a brass hammer. This was my grandfather's. So I use this for knocking stuff around too in tight areas. Solid steel, it's super heavy. So that's the chisel and punch drawer. These are my dirt bike tools. In here, I spend a lot of time working, minus the inflator. But all this is for motorcycles. Changing tires, bead buddies, chain breakers. This is just a portable one. I have a full-on pro chain breaker in there. Torque wrench for spokes, tire bars, spoons, spark plug gapping, suspension tools, sag tools. This is a press for pressing bearings in, KTM wheels. This is a drift for pressing head bearings out of dirt bikes for your head tube. This specialty tool is for reaching up behind the rear. I change sprockets a lot, different gear ratios on my motorcycles, so this helps hold in a really hard to get to spot. Pumps, high pressure pumps for suspension. This is one of these is for head tube and one of these is for wheel bearings. These are made by Tokyo Off-Road, and these are excellent. Really a nice tool. Brake bleeding, slack adjuster, suspension adjusters, basically just motorcycle stuff. Motorcycle stuff there. Bottom drawer is for things I don't know where else to put. Blue Point battery charger, staple gun. Use that quite a bit. Die grinders. Still have some pneumatic stuff. Few tools. Most of my Milwaukee stuff is it's over here because I just brought it back and I'm rehabbing it from the cabin. So I don't keep it here, but it's just here because I go through and clean everything up and just put everything back into service. But recently got this. This was a gift to me from, I think Evan sent me that from Radio Made Easy. That's the M18 compressor. That's the big one. That's great. Those are great tools. Pin nailers and routers. Oh, this is mostly construction stuff. This all these are my personal tools that I used building the cabin. And this is basically what it looked like. Track saw, all my hardware. Yeah, here's something that you'll like. Do you hate these things as much as I do? These are terrible. These little bit kits, these silly little holders. I don't know what the deal is, but I can't get them to work, man. I press on them until I feel like my fingers are going to break. I can't get them back in, and they're horrible to get out. They're just awful things. And I finally had a full Tourette's breakdown when I was fooling with this on the cabin, and I did something different. Actually, I dropped a drill off the top of the ladder when I was hanging the squirrel light, and I broke my pack-out box here. So I don't know if you can repair those or not. So what I did to get around the hateful bit organizer, which I've always hated, is I went down and I did it properly. Behold. This is how you do it. Best thing I ever did. I assure you, when I take this, you will have what you need, and many of them. So that was a recent upgrade. The worst, yes. City Boy said it. They are absolutely the worst. So I did two things. I got my bits organized in this one, and then I'm always missing blades. This is dirty because I wiped out coming down the ramp, I think. But check this out. So this is a similar concept. All my blades for everything that I need in here. Jigsaw blades, my own personal drill bits that I do not loan out. So just, all those Sawzall blades, reciprocating blades, just everything in there. So if I need a blade for a Sawzall, jigsaw, drill bit, what have you, they're all there. Hardware. So two types of hardware. So just general nuts and bolts for all the things that you need. More metal, just junk, just self-tappers and then stainless steel and washers and grab and go. Of course, I have the master set here in the shop, but if I'm away and I don't want to, and I need a screw or a washer, then I grab that. And then this one has my wood screws in it. So all of the wood screws that I like to use, all various lengths. I usually run timber screws in here for the bigger ones. But I've gotten so many timber screws now that I have its own box. And that makes up that. Still got some of the old DeWalt stuff. This is all my electrical stuff. So the DeWalt box is just for electrical. I don't mix it in. I'm not buying any more DeWalt. But this is my electrical box. So wire nuts, conduit adapters, all of those when you're always looking for those screws. This will tell you right here, this bin, how many houses I've remodeled. If you know, you know, right? So that sort of thing. So I try to have systems. So if I want to go do, like when I want to go hang the door, pretty soon I'll be able to come here. These are my personal tools. Since I've got Mrs. W around, Jack, we have employees. They have their tools, but I can't have them taking my tools and me taking theirs because you're always looking for something. So this is hands off. I let them use them if they want to use them, but they have to make sure that they put them right back. And I'm not that type of guy, but these are mine and they're not to be touched unless you have an emergency. And then again, this is disorganized here because I just put everything in it and ran out of the cabin, but this is how I roll. I'll have one of these boxes here that will have my drills and batteries, and then one of these other Milwaukee boxes. These are just the open boxes with the closed bottoms that will have my hand tools. So you're going to have your, crescent wrench and your big hole saws and your shims and your Knipex and your tape measures and, all that stuff. So usually I can grab these two right here and put everything I need in there. Throw a drill in there, throw a nail gun in there, grab my bit box, grab my bits, grab my fasteners, and I can work pretty efficiently and avoid frustration, which is really the goal. Definitely the goal. Any questions, comments? Yeah, those crates are really good. I'm not sure on the pronunciation of that, Nick. I get corrected every time I pronounce it, so I just gave up. From what I understand, it's Knipex. I think, Knipex. So these are the Vertex bags that I like, I was telling you about, because they're square and they have some structure to them. These are really good for equipment storage because, putting a hard box like these, they're just so unflexible. They either fit or they don't fit. But it seems there's just something about these. There seems like there's always some way where you can squish it into a space. Not to mention, if it comes loose in the cab, I'd rather have to deal with this in a rollover than those, for sure. So this one's the one that I keep all my retrieval gear in. So it's all laid out here by the fire. So my Bubba ropes and my winch controllers and all my shackles, soft shackles, and all that stuff I keep in there. Well, we had so many people over for Christmas that I usually carry this behind the seat. I threw it in the back of the bed, and then it rained on it and got all wet. So I'm drying everything out. This is something also I haven't shared with you that I will be sharing. The Battle Chemist, not only did he gift me with this beautiful saw here that I'm been working on or getting ready to work on, but also an FSS Pulaski with the sheath, all original with a handmade handle. Look at that. The original, the OG Forest Service sheath. And this handle, I can tell it's handmade by the feel of it. Perfect. Look at that. FSS right there. It goes pretty nice with the fire shovel, doesn't it? This is a good combination right here. Proho should have these two tools, especially the shovel. Excellent. The Battle Chemist, man, he came with amazing gifts. Not only for me, but he equipped the whole war band. It was amazing. Oh, Mama's scolding me because I'm letting the fire go down. Okay, we'll get you going. She likes me to keep the fire going. A shop without a wood stove, I guess the difference, it's the wood stove it's so nice, especially when it's cold. When you got stuff to do and you're out in the cold, it's miserable. Just to have even if your shop is porous and you can't keep heat in it, just to have a wood stove that you can roll your toolbox over here and work near it, it really helps morale. I know the older I get, the more I appreciate it. But I've always had a wood stove in my shops. And it's the first thing that I do. Well, the vise. Installing a vise is the first, and a workbench is first, and then after that would probably be a wood stove. That'll burn until this evening. Put it on low. I like to split kindling with, this is my favorite kindling splitter. These are made in Germany. This is an excellent tool. Mueller 1675. Made in Germany, all steel. And look at this weight in this. This is very heavy. Man, and your hand is protected. I'll tell you, man, this is where it's at right here. Everyone else likes the kindling cracker. That's what Jack uses. Mr. Jiraiya prefers that. But me personally, this is my favorite. It's nice to have a small hatchet, too, for little things. This was my granddad's hunting hatchet, or one of his. I made this handle a long time ago. I put a faceted head on it. I always liked this handle. Feels good in the hand. I like that kind of that ball or the knob on the end of the handle, especially now that my hand is so damaged from that motorcycle crash that I don't have very good strength or dexterity in my hand anymore. It helps me to hold on to it better. I recently put this handle, I think I did a video on this. I put this handle, which is the full swing handle. This was developed by, man, I can't remember the name of the guy, but a really good guy. He's on YouTube, I believe. Developed this short handle for timber fallers. This can be carried in a sheath and worn on a belt, but you can put a full size. This is a full size 3.5 pound vintage Collins head here. So that's a big axe, but with this short handle and this really nice knob on the back, I love this. This knob kind of came about as a mistake. I don't know all the story, but it went something like, I think maybe even Liam Nielsen was producing these handles or had involved in it. But something happened where they were turning them on the lathe, and to turn them on the lathe, they put this extra piece on there. And the idea was to once they got the handles, was just to take a bandsaw and cut that off and make it like a traditional axe handle. Like this here, just a regular swell, palm swell. But he got to looking at it and using it and thinking, man, I kind of like that knob on there. And I would have to agree. I'd never seen that before, but I love it. This is the full swing axe handle. You can buy these and you can fit them, hang any axe that you have. You want to put a big one on there. But man, this is great. I love that design. Really, that was really well done. Very happy with that. I'm pretty, there's really not a lot of stuff in the shop. I maybe have a little bit more in here than I normally would for winter time. But my goal in my workspace is Liam Hoffman. Yes, sorry, I mispronounced that. Liam Hoffman has a hand in those axe handles. Yeah, fractured hand. This has been a real difficult thing. It's this finger here. It's just non-functional really anymore. And my dexterity in this hand, my right primary hand, is gone. I'm just really handicapped by this. It was a bad break. It's never going to be the same. I'm just going to have to adapt and deal with it. But the point I'm saying is that what you see in here, what I share with you, everything in here is very intentional and it's important to me. It either has sentimental value or is useful, but actually both. Even things that have sentimental value, I'm not going to keep things around just for keepsake. I can't keep everything. And so I just surround myself with the things that I really enjoy and I like and I use. So whatever I walk through the shop, or I'm in here every day, I'm always asking myself, whenever I come across something, do you need this? Are you using this? Is it something you use on the daily, or is it important to you? If not, then it needs to either be given away or be put in a different place, because I don't want it in my workspace. So apart from this disaster right here, which will be cleaned up soon, usually I don't keep anything on my workbenches. I keep them clean. But everything in here that you see in my shop is very, very intentional and here for a reason. Not just, stuff doesn't hang out in here. There's no hanging out in the shop. If you're not useful, then you're not welcome here as far as tools go. Race cart. This is more summertime, but I do a lot of stuff with motorcycles. So That in the toolbox are usually, I'll roll them together when I'm working on the bikes. But that's kind of a breakdown. It's probably more of a tour than you wanted. That's the one you get. All right, any final questions before I sign off? Questions, comments? Oh yeah, supplies, all the supplies. So when I built the shop, or built out the shop, I did this jog right here. So this is, I think it comes out 8 feet. Behind this, it's lined with shelves, French cleated shelves from floor to ceiling. There's a tremendous amount of storage in there. So behind this wall is all my lubricants, oil changing stuff, chemicals, supplies, neatly organized, just every single thing that I could possibly need. I have multiple filters and oil changes for every piece of equipment that I have. Basically there's a full AMSOIL store in the back of that. So whenever I need something, I can just go back there and get it. But I don't want to see it. I don't want all the clutter. So that was what I came up with. So when I want to go back here, I just turn around there and then I can access it. And that's all the oils and everything. But it keeps the shop looking cleaner. Cribbing also, this is all my cribbing. I use a lot of cribbing and dunnage for wheel stops, all bazillion different things, always using that stuff. So I take, if I'm not deliberate about my cribbing, I end up throwing it in the wood stove or it gets used for something else. So years ago, I took and painted these, drilled them, put ropes in them. And no one's gonna, if you have employees or even you yourself, you're not gonna, if you need a 2x4, you're not gonna take this because you put so much effort into it, making it. So that's handy. It's something I use a lot. A metal table for fabricating and really heavy work, and a big, strong vise for real hard, heavy-duty work is pretty essential. But I don't like to work on a metal bench for most stuff because it's cold, and it mars the surface of everything because it's just so hard. I would much rather work on wood. So I have 3 bench surfaces. So I kind of thought that this would be more of a fiddle bench that I would spend more time on, but it's actually become more of a computer bench. So I do a lot of editing and computer work here. And if I have small projects, then I have the small machinist vise. And this is also by the wood stove, so that's why I spend a lot of time here. So when I'm working, I don't mind it being cold, but when I'm sitting down to edit for a couple hours, then I get really cold. So I put it here so that I'm right next to the wood stove, and that works out pretty good. And then I got this secondhand snap-on toolbox, and I just built that in. And this is the 3rd work surface, which I use quite a bit. It's just basically Rhino line. So it's if you have anything that's dripping or oily, it's really nice because it's soft enough where it doesn't mar surfaces, but also durable enough that you can drip oil on it. And it's a really nice surface. I didn't think that I liked it. I was a little disappointed that it had this on here when I bought it and not the stainless steel. But after having it and working with it, I would absolutely spec out a toolbox with that. Or if I had one that didn't have it, I might even consider having it Rhino lined. It's a wonderful surface. Maple, this is a Boost butcher block that I bought and basically converted to that, and then put a hard leg on it, bolted it down to the concrete, so I got a nice firm vise. I can't abide having a vise that moves, and this one will not move. It's all lagged in and bolted into the wall, and it's super, super tough. It's not as tough as that one, but it's tough enough. This is an Amish clothes dryer that I made, or wood stove dryer. This is something I use almost every day, especially for gloves and hats, things that get wet. You can open it up and fan those out, and that will dry those gloves there in no time. We bring in firewood for the winter time, and this is my sharpening station. So anything that needs sharpening, sometimes the boys will come over with a jug of home brew there, so we got some shot glasses out for that. But chisels, knives, anything that needs sharpening, I can do it right here. And this is my sharpening bench for small things. Offsets for chisels and that sort of thing. Stones. Not too much clutter. I try not to get clutter at all. It's always a challenge, but that's the goal anyway. Guess that about covers it. Don't use compressor anymore, really, now that I've got the cordless tools, electric tools. I have a big, full commercial, full shop compressor there, 240, 90 CFM. Hooked to a Reelcraft, rail. These are the only good ones. Those cheesy ones, the Harbor Freight ones, don't buy them. They're not worth having. If you're going to have one of these reel up deals, that's the only brand, Reelcraft, USA made. That's pro level gear right there. That stuff is excellent. And I think it's pretty affordable for what you get. I also have a Reelcraft outlet box. If I want to have something on the floor or drag it around, this is also Reelcraft. These are really nice. And everything long enough to reach any point of the shop. 40 by 40 shop. So I want to be able to access any corner with any of these sorts of things. I do have air from the big compressor plumbed out here. We use this quite a bit in the summertime. I'll usually have a hose here dedicated all summer and pressure gauges because we start the motorcycle rides from here. So everybody airs up their tires and then my welding equipment, cut-off saw. So I can change the shop to do whatever I need to do. In 10 minutes, I can turn this area here into a full, pretty capable fab area. Plasma torches, welding, cut-off saws, drill presses. I don't do a ton of that stuff, but the idea of the shop is that I can, whatever needs to be done, I can customize it for that work. I can turn this in. I can have 2 dirt bikes right here and have a full race shop with all the tools I need that would be respectable for any motorcycle race team. I can, in 15 minutes, be set up over in this corner with a full blacksmith forge setup when I want to do that, maybe a half hour. But I don't want a dedicated blacksmith shop in here because I don't do it all the time. But I want to be able to do it when I want to do it. So the idea in this shop is to be able to set it up or to change it very quickly without a whole bunch of effort into whatever you need it to be and to do. If I want to do fine woodworking or build cabinets, I have all my traditional woodworking tools are in this Mac box here, and that's on casters. And so I can roll that over to the carpentry bench, and I can, in just minutes, I can have a full traditional carpentry set up here. So you can kind of see the method to the madness. Or if I need to bring equipment in here, work on my truck, do oil changes, bring the tractors in here, I can bring them in here. And then the reason for the mobile toolbox is I can bring that right to my work and have a nice work area. Whether I'm working on the dirt bikes, I can put it over there and basically have the T, like a race setup. Or you can come over here and that's always kind of what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do. But that's the 10-cent tour. Oh, I missed a super chat. Oh, I'm backing up here. We have a super chat from Mr. Jack McCulley, who asked me, what do you think of Angel Studios? I don't know what that is. We don't watch television, so I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing it's a Christian organization. Hopefully it's better than Christian music or Christian rock, because that's one of the worst things in the whole world. Hopefully it's not that. And I'm not sure what that is. But thank you, Jack. Thank you for that super chat. The Chosen. Oh, yes. Okay, The Chosen. Oh, yeah, they seem like good guys. I've actually listened to some interviews of the guy that maybe started or runs that, or at least he's doing the Left Behind, or what was it? The Chosen. I watch Mrs. W and I watched the first 2 or 3 years of that, I think. Um, and I thought it was quite good, but I don't know, I guess the whole thing just got drawn out too long. There was too much hype, and I don't know, I just kind of lost interest with it. It just went on forever and ever and never got to. I would have rather had them maybe sped up the process a little bit, but not to say that it wasn't good, but I just kind of checked out of it. But maybe I should go back and watch it. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, I still haven't had my breakfast, so I'm gonna sign off and go do that. I guess it's getting probably pretty late. Looks like it's even getting dark. So thank you for hanging out. We had a good time with the SnowStream. If it continues to snow and I come out to do another plow run, I will certainly bring you along. So hit that bell icon down below there and you get a notification, I believe, when it works. And you'll know when we go live if you like these and you want to jump on. So I do appreciate very much all of the super chat. I appreciate all of you with your comments and the great questions and for your time. The fact that you come here and hang out and watch these silly live streams is, well, it's very flattering. So thank you very much. May God bless you and your families. Also, congratulations to all the new members. You will have access to tomorrow's stream. We hope to see you there. We have a wonderful group, a very small group of very dedicated warband members, and we really enjoy that. We do that every morning. Members only live stream, usually runs a couple hours, and we'll be starting tomorrow at 6 o'clock a.m. in the morning, West Coast time, and usually we'll run until 7:30 or 8 or so. And Brian P., we hope to see you there. Our brand newest member just popped up. So thank you for that. And we hope to see you tomorrow. And that's it. May God bless all of you.